Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Natasha Herzahara and I want to explanation about translating prose and novel. Okay, the first is according to Nita and Tabor, there are three steps or procedure that a translator must take when translating. The first step is analysis. What is meant by analysis is to analyze the text which is still the form or such text, and the second step is transfer. Transfer is an attempt to start transferring the results of the analysis that is in the mind of translator from the source language to the target language. In this process, the language transfer has started after the source text has been understood and has been translated. Okay, the next step is restructuring. Uh, in this third step, the language of the search language that has been transferred in then restrict or the rearrange so that the message from the author can be received in the target language. In other words, in this last step, there is an adjustment to the factor in the target language. Okay, next is the translating prose. Prose is a word used to describe a story, idea, or fact. Prose is writing that are found in newspaper, magazine, novels, and various other types of media. Unlike poetry, prose is not bound by rhyme and sweetness of sounds. For example, fairy tales, folklore stories, history, saga, novels, romance, biographies, and short stories. Prose is a simpler structure than poetry and consequently easier to translate. The way that can be done to translate prose is that students are asked to translate the opening paragraph of any novels and the translation is then checked in a discussion group. Students are asked to repeatedly translate text they have never read and not read only once because it is completely unacceptable to approach poetry translation and include carelessness.
Prose are divided into novels and short stories. Both of them there is the same structures, namely fiction. In the fictional stories, there is a character plot and there's setting or background. So there are similarities in how to translate them. According to Suryawinata and Haryanto, they reveal that there are difficulties in translating the fiction due to several problems. Therefore, we also need to pay attention to the characteristics of literary conventions when writing the work, so that the translator not understanding the text and writing style to be translated. Therefore, below, like the opinion from Basnet, states that there are 6 general rules for translator of prose text, namely, first, the translator must not try hard word by word or sentence by sentence, but must always block his word. Second, translator must translate idioms with idioms and idioms with neither domains translation into a form other than the original. Third, the translator must translate intention by intention. Fourth, below words against less folksy vici, words or structures that may appear to match in source language and target language but are hard. Fifth, the translator is advised to transmute boldly, and below suggests that the essence of translation is the awakening of the foreign body in the original body. Sixth, the translator may not view TV.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nabil Laila. I will explain material about translating novels. Hilaire Belloc established 6 general rules for prose translators. First, the translators must not try hard word for word or sentence for sentence, but must always get in the way of his work. Second, translator must translate idiom with idiom, and their nature demand translator into a form other than the original. 3. Translator should translate intention for intention, keeping in mind that the meaning of a phrase in one language may be less emphatic than the form of the phrase, or may be more emphatic. 4. Bullock warns against less false-faced word or structure that might seem appropriate in the SL and TL but are not. For example, demanded to ask to be means translate as a request. 5. Translators are advised to transmute boldly, and Bullock suggests that the essence of translating is awakening of the foresight in the original body. 6. The translator might not beautify. And then Bullock's 6 rules cover both technique point and principle point. The order of priority is a bit odd, but nevertheless he implies the need for translator to consider the prose text as a structure whole while taking into account the stylistic and syntactical urgency of the TL. He accepts that there is a moral responsibility to the original, but feels that translators have the right to significantly alter the text in the translator process to provide the TL readers with text that conforms to stylistic and idiomatic norms. Thank you.